also at this time, Common in particular has gotten in the door. He's on Relativity. You know, he's starting to make some things happen. What in the climate of the city itself, Twister came out, hadn't super blown up yet. Adrenaline Rush is still down the road. Even Pope Pimp with Do or Die is down the road. What did the labels seem more interested in Chicago or in general, or no? Or what was the climate business-wise in the city at the time?
All right, so Relativity ends up being the first to kind of show interest in the city beyond one artist. So this is where No ID gets his original deal. Infamous Syndicate, Shauna gets her original deal. But this is I'll jump around a little bit. This is Resurrection. So Common, after Can I Borrow a Dollar, with the hip hop heads, highly respected. But it's such a small handful of hip hop heads because it's all street shit. And then Twister kind of comes and goes. And yes, everybody's impressed that he's on Yo MTV Raps, and they're impressed that he got the deal. But Resurrection is kind of a turning point. But pre-Resurrection, yes, these guys are appreciated locally, but not to maybe the degree they deserved for having broken these barriers down. Right. And the same was said for what I was doing. They knew they would go out of town and people would be familiar with me, or they would hear it on college radio when they would leave out of town. But these are such a specific set of people that were not reaching the common Chicagoan. None of us. I mean, and the people that Twister was able to reach, I don't know if they were even buying it. They knew about him. We were all getting our footing with regard to getting the name out, but no one had succeeded in making it. So Relativity starts kind of, they're the first ones to show some interest label-wise. I'm trying to figure out still, it's not clear. This is pre-Master P, this is pre-Seawall. It's not clear that, oh, this guy's selling records. That would translate into him selling on our label. It was kind of almost like, yeah, that's cool, you should keep doing that. And I was like, God damn. I mean, at what point do I get to graduate? But I had to make myself graduate. They weren't going to graduate me. The industry wasn't going to graduate me.
Yeah, well, I think the LLP definitely was a huge step in that direction. So what, before we get to the music of the project, the album itself, what changed and what made LLP kind of your first big thing that started getting a little more notoriety around the country?
Well, rap in general was getting a little more notoriety around the country. And so Chicago even had a 24-hour rap station, WJPC, 950 AM. They put it on fucking AM. And they ended up becoming an FM station, 106 Jams. But so now there's kind of hip hop on the radio. Chicago was very slow to pick up on hip hop on the radio. This is a house music town. So that house music really had to die down in order. And there were great independent labels. I learned a lot about independent music from watching DJ International, Chicago Tracks, Wax Tracks. There were respectable. Chicago always had a knack for making its own business. So I did learn a lot from that. But I knew at this point, even though I was selling 5 figures, that nobody was going to reach back for me. So we fund our own music video. And that's the game changer. The music video changes everything. And it's by luck. I mean, I could have made that video and it not get picked up. And then at that point, it's back to the drawing board. But it got picked up. And when it got picked up, it's a game changer.
And break
So
down
it's
the
the
video.
video.
Break down the video and what you did and why you decided to make it.
So Illa LP is now gonna be my next attempt at a full-length album. Here we are. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4 releases deep, but in a relatively short span of time, 92, 93, 94, 95. So I'm just basically annually rolling the dice again, shooting my shot. And each time is getting bigger, bigger, bigger. So Illa LP is just in the succession of what I'm attempting to do. I'm going to keep doing it, period. So, of course, Rap City is huge. This is post-show on TV Raps. So this is where everybody's going to see new rap music, new hip hop. So I didn't even know what a video publicist was. I thought we're going to make this video and maybe we'll send it on VHS to all the video shows. This is where I am business-wise, because I'm not where the business is. You know, New York and LA, they know what they're doing. And Jay Prince hasn't injected himself just yet into Chicago. So we're still tracks with D to the S, and visits, but Seawall's now becoming a thing. And everything's going to change. And I make this video and I'm like, okay, there's one shot. I got to get all the elements in. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have graffiti. We're going to have B-boys. We're going to have, you know, I'll be rapping, but it's going to be some street shit on ill. You know, when they say on God now, that's like current slang, you know, but on whatever you care about, on my mama, on ill, is Chicago slang. So I come out, they don't even know what that means on ill. But it means I'll put that on the ill, on Chicago. ISA to the end, hardcore, you know, we won't bend. On ill, I put that on ill. So now it would be much clearer. But then it's some other shit. I'm doing some other shit. I don't look like anybody. The beats aren't sounding like anybody. Here I am, you know, I made this video. It's super bare bones. We get us a video publicist. And I remember I didn't even know it was on Rap City, and I'm in a record store and they got BET on the television. And it comes on. And that's how I found out that they picked up the video. And I was like, and then people are looking at me in the store like, isn't that you? And from there, everything's different now.
What store were you in?
Bomb Records in East Chicago, Indiana. And I was dropping off stock by myself. And I'm handing off records, and there it comes. And it was a big, obviously a huge deal, but that was the first time thousands of people had ever seen me or heard of me or anything. So that was the game changer.
So with the projects before Illa LP and then Illa LP, what would you say approximately you sold X before that, and then because of this video, you doubled, you know, what was happening?
We couldn't manufacture quick enough. So we were losing sales. People were interested, distributors wanted it, and we had sold what we manufactured. And the turnaround on manufacturing wasn't like it is now, where you could get a cassette, you know, let me get 10,000 cassettes and we'll have it turn around in 2 weeks. I had to put in and get behind everybody. Now, a record label would have the juice or their own manufacturing and manufacture and start feeding the system. And I'm just losing. I got no tapes. I got no CDs. I'm on TV every day. Then we gotta collect the money from what we sold. We gotta wait for the 30 days, 60 day, 90-day terms or whatever we made pre-video for these people to pay us to manufacture more. And so I'm losing traction. So I know at this time, oh, I got to get with a record label. I can't do this independently. I'm losing money. So it's funny because I start making calls, for instance, and there's a lot of these stories, but I'll give you an example. I make a connection with a dude at Immortal, Buzztone in Cali, Epic. I think they were through Epic.
Yep.
And
Ed Funk Dubious. Yep.
right. And so I thought in my head, as a rap fan, just like I explained with my tapes, I would fit good with Immortal. Let me reach out. They're not too big, but they got these connections or whatever. Funk Dubious was popping, and they obviously knew what they were doing. And so I get this meeting. They're kind of interested. And then it goes real good. And then he says, he kind of separates me from the gentleman I come with. He's like, can I talk to you for a second? And he's like, look, I'm down to sign you, but I'm just being honest. We got 3 videos that we can't get on Rhapsody right now. So I'm concerned that you may be able to do something that we're not even going to be able to do for you. And I'm trying to tell him, oh, distribution. And he's like, well, when's your next batch of shit coming back from manufacturing or whatever? And I realized, oh, I'm in a bind here where I am indeed pulling off what some of these majors can't do, but I'm missing this most important element to capitalize on the moment. And I also called Correct Records, and they were like, I might as well have been a star. They were like, ooh, EC. You know, I'm thinking Al Tariq used to be with the Beatnuts. So as a fan, I'm thinking, I want to be with y'all. And they're like, man, we can't get no videos on Rap City. How are you doing this? We got LLP in all the stores out here in California. How are you doing this? So I'm like, oh, shit. These labels are not going to be able to do shit for me. And I was missing a moment in terms of really, truly capitalizing on the opportunity. But it was an opportunity nonetheless that would catapult me outside of local status.
Yeah, and you on LLP, of course, Trilogy's on there and Traxter's on there with you. And then this is around the time that the resurrection of Twista comes and we get Do or Die, Po Pimp, and all this. So how did Traxter, Seawall, Po Pimp, even though that's not you, how did that affect you positively or negatively?
Well, this is my crew. So this is all happening before my very eyes. Keep in mind, Crucial Conflict, all this is happening at the exact same time. Hey, Po Pimp, on Ill, we're on Rap City, back to back, and Plentiful. It's not like they showed it, it's in rotation. So Trax is the first in the crew to recognize, oh, all this hip hop shit, this like the elements, the hip hop shit, and don't get me wrong, he's a hip hop historian. He knows his shit, he knows about everything. But as a businessman, he also knew, oh, no, we're not making those type of beats anymore. These are the beats we're gonna make. And it was very clear, very quick. People loved it. Regular people, not B-boys, not DJs, none of that. I mean, some of them too, but gangsters loved it. Mamas loved it. School kids loved it. The radio loved it. And so I'm watching this happen, coinciding with my own success, but my own success ends up being a little tricky because this is my crew and everybody within the crew is kind of following his lead now. But I've kind of committed to this thing. I got a fan base. It didn't work for him on the hip hop tip, but I can't just drop it. I am making money. I am being appreciated. You know, I'm on the Wake Up Show. I'm making the rounds. I'm doing my thing, but I'm not truly capitalizing. He's not making the rounds and he's truly capitalizing. And I realized, oh shit, I'm kind of stuck. Not that I didn't want to do it, but I can't like evolve with him immediately. I have to have my own situation. I have to find major distribution. I'm going to have to do this. And in the meantime, they're catapulting, and Jay Prince is coming. He wants all of it. He wants all of it. He knows what this is. He's like, you guys don't even know what this is. You know, they're selling tens of thousands of cassette singles of the Pope Pimp single. It's picked up on radio nationally. Labels are coming. And Jay Prince is first. He's on it because he knows this is his market. He's always appreciated the Midwest.
Be sure to check out the history of gangster rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.